What is up guys, it's your boy Solam here, back with another Palworld video. Now today we're focusing on the best pals to have in your party in Palworld, and for that we're going to be focusing on pals that have certain bonuses while being in your party. We're going to talk about them at level 1 and also level 5, or I guess like ranked up between level 1 and level 5, basically condensing the pals and looking at the benefits you get from condensing those pals. Now we're going to go through quite a few pals in this video, so let's get right into it, shall we? So the first pal that is very good to have in your party, that is kind of an overlooked one, is actually going to be this one right here, Doan. I hope I said that correctly, but either way, the partner skill he has is called Homeward Prayer, and this one is basically a teleport to the closest base, wherever you currently are. This cannot be used inside dungeons and kind of like instanced content, but as long as you're in the open world, you can use this to literally teleport yourself back to your base. It's basically a Daisy Cloud, but in a PAL form. So just using the partner skill is literally a free Daisy Cloud that you can use. Now, I currently have this one at level 1, and he does also have some benefits from being higher level, so condensing the PAL to level 2 and level 5, just to like get the partner skill leveled up, right? And the highest you can get is level 5, by condensing all the way to 5 stars, or I guess 4 stars, and getting your partner skill to level 5. Now, what that will do is reduce the cooldown of this skill, so as you can see here, the partner skill Homeward Prayer has a cooldown of 1000. If you get to level 5, this is going to be half the cooldown, so once again, if you're using this a lot, then getting this one condensed could be a good idea. For me, there's really no, there's no real benefit to doing that for me at the moment, because the cooldown is always ready when I need it personally. Now, once again, the more often you use this, the more valuable this will be, but then again, condensing all the way requires like, what, 150 pals or something, so for me, that is just not worth the time effort, and for now, I'm having a level 1 Doan, or he's level 5, a level 55, but the partner skill is level 1. Now, pal number 2 is going to be this one right here, if I just go back to Palworld for now. Pal number 2 is going to be Smokey, and over here, like, first of all, the passive skills I have on the Doan is like trash skills. You only really use Doan anyway for like teleporting back, so the passive skills you have and the active skills you have on Doan doesn't really matter that much. On Smokey, on the other hand, I have gone I've gone as hard as I bothered to go, really, on the Smokey passive skills, to the point where we have Demon God, we have Musclehead, we have Mind Foreman, and Ferocious. I guess you can't really see them right now, so let's go back to this screen right here, and the reason why I have Mind Foreman, for example, is 25% increase in player mining efficiency. This one I feel like kind of synergizes really well with the partner skill you have. When activated, it uses the sharp sense of smell to detect nearby chromite, which you would then have to mine. So 25% more efficiency in mining just helps you mine that faster, and while fighting together a large amount of chromite is obtained, you just get more chromite. So Smokey helps you find chromite, and you get more chromite. So I feel like having Mine Foreman on this guy just makes sense. Now, you can also see that I have condensed Smokey to be 4 stars equals a partner skill level 5, and that is because the higher partner skill you get on your Smokey, the more chromite you get. As you can see here, level 1 is 100%, level 2 is 110, then 130, 160, and finally 200% more chromite. So for me, the more chromite you're farming, the more worth it is to have a fully upgraded Smokey. And once again, the passive skills are just like, you don't need the passive skills as long as you have any, like, pal with Mining Foreman. I feel like that's good, but it just makes sense to have on Smokey as well. So if you have a way of getting it on Smokey, then there we go. And that kind of gets me right into pal number 3, which is going to be this one right here, the Yakumo. In this case, I actually have 2 separate Yakumos, and this is my base pal Yakumo, where I'm trying to get pals with these stats, which is going to be Remarkable Craftsmanship, Artisan, Serious, and Work Slave. You could also have a Yakumo with these stats, for example, to make it easier for you to catch a Smokey with these stats as well, because the partner skill that Yakumo has is when fighting together, it becomes easier to encounter pals with the same passive skills as this pal. So if you want to get these skills that I have, this is the perfect kind of crafting skills right in your base, if you want to get these and you don't want to breed for it all the time, you can get this on a Yakumo and then go out and catch pals and just hope to get lucky. And this one is not condensed yet, but I will tell you, you probably want to get this condensed. I only have it at level 1 so far, like partner skill level 1 as you can see, and if you condense this pal, if you go back here, take away the Smokey window, go into this one right here, Yakumo, you can see at level 1, the passive effect has a plus 15% chance to go to that pal. But at level 5, so fully condensed, it's 30% chance. So you are doubling your chance of like transferring those passive skills onto the brand new pal you are capturing. So once again, fully condensing your Yakumo could be a good idea. Next up we have Lavender, and this one is kind of for the in-game vampiric effect while you are fighting. Let's just call it a life drain, or yeah, like a life drain, or the vampiric effect. So while you're fighting together, it grants the player and Lavender the life steal effect, which absorbs some of the received damage and restores health, so it's both an absorb and a heal at the same time for both you and your pal. In this case, you want your pal to be good and yourself to be good as well. So for me, when it comes to Lavender, I've gone for these passive skills. Vampiric for even more health on Lavender, which I think is just insane. Demon God for more attack, Ferocious for more attack, and lastly Vanguard, because Vanguard buffs me as the player here, and once again, both me and Lavender benefit from having this benefit from the partner skill here. And Lavender is another one of those pals you maybe want to upgrade, because as you can see, if I go back to the screen over here, it is plus 2% usually at level 1, and at level 5 it's plus 6%, so it's 3 times more effective at max condensation than it is currently. Now mine is level 3, like partner skill level 3, or condensed rank 2, so for me I have plus 4%. I'm still lacking 2% more, but I'm at least plus 4% in total at the moment. So this pal is just great to have. It might not be the best pal to like have out and fight with you, but either way the lifesteal effect is kind of cool. Next up we have the pal that most of you probably know about already, and that is going to be the Gobfin. And over here we have 4 Gobfins, and the reason why is that whenever you have Gobfins, they basically boost your attacks, and you might want to use a combination of Gobfins plus, for example, like any riding pal you can have, a Ragnarok Walk for example, to infuse yourself with fire attacks, and then the Gobfins boost your attacks even further. Because the partner skill that Gobfins will have is going to be, let me just take care of that one pal, while in team increases the player's attack power, and this one stacks by the way. So if you have 1 Gobfin, you will benefit from this, but if you have 4, you will benefit 4 times over. It basically stacks with as many Gobfins as you have, and this one as well gets better and better the higher level the partner skill is. So for me, I have 4 Gobfins at max condensation, level 60, which doesn't really matter, and we have some pretty cool stats here as well for the passive skills. We have increased player attack, increased player defense, Philanthropist, which was when I was breeding them to breed faster, and then Cherry for like less dark damage on me and the pals. Now, as for how valuable it is to actually condense your Gobfin, so you can go back to the website here, PalDB or the database, and you can see here at level 1 partner skill, they give you plus 10% attack, but at level 5, it's plus 20%. So, if you have 4 of them, that is plus 80% if you have 4 level 5s, right? So 80% player damage, that is quite a huge buff. It basically doubles your attacks. Now at the end here we have quite a few pals that will boost the attacks of certain types of pals in your party, which is going to be very good to have for boss fights for example, where you can rotate 2 pals and then have 3 other pals to just boost your 2 strongest pals. So for example, if you're doing a ice raid like Bastigor, instead of having 5 Blastomuts in your party, you can have 2 Blastomuts and then have a Ruby to boost the fire damage. And for this, let's take a look at Ruby first. So here we have Ruby, and what Ruby does is increase the damage of fire pals in your party. So fire pals in your party will deal way more damage, and once again this one also stacks. So if you go back to the Palworld database here, you can see at level 1 partner skill, it is plus 10%, but at level 5, it's plus 20%. So once again, they can almost, if you have 3 of them for example, that is 60% chance, or 60% more attack damage for your fire palace. And what I do here is, once again, if I'm doing a raid for Bastigor, I would have 2 Blasemuts in my party, so like Blasemut here and Blasemut here, and then 3 rubies to boost those 2 Blasemuts. And the reason you want to have 2 Blasemuts is so you can rotate. When one gets low on health, you throw the other one out, let the low health one regenerate, and just like keep this rotation going. So the stats here, like the 10 and the way this scales, is going to be the same for every single pal, so I'm not going to go back to this website every single time, but it's basically 10%, 11%, 13, 16, and then 20 for every single one. Now, I just mentioned that Ruby is the fire pal, so having Ruby boosts the damage of fire pals in your party. Spark It boosts the damage of electric pals in your party, and Hucrotes boosts the damage of dark pals in your party. Ribbony boosts neutral damage in your party, so like neutral pals boost their attack damage. If you have Ribbony Bhutan, he or she will boost the damage of grass pals in your party. Then you have Dumud, which boosts the damage of ground pals in your party. And you have 2 more, you have Foxicle for example, boosting the damage of ice pals in your party. And you also have Kelpsea, boosting the damage of water pals in your party. Now, in addition to all of that, one more pal I always have in my party is going to be a flying pal of some kind, and the one I always go for is a Jet Dragon, so like, get yourself a Jet Dragon whenever you can, and have it with the best stats as well if you can. And what the best stats is kind of depends, because you can actually turn off stamina, for example, through an in-game setting, or your world setting to like make stamina deteriorate way slower. So if you don't have that, you probably want to have Eternal Engine for example, or Infinite Stamina. But if you already have that, you can just focus on movement speed all the way, baby, and get yourself a Jet Dragon, because they just fly really fast. So for me, I pretty much always have Jet Dragon in my party, and then any of the other pals I just mentioned in this video, I usually also have in my party when I'm out there adventuring. So hopefully this video was kind of informative. Hopefully it kind of shined a light on some pals that are kind of under the radar, like for example Doan. It's not a pal that everyone thinks about, but it's a free Dassy Cloud. So once again, I just hope this video was informative and helpful, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below and subscribe for more. As always, thank you for watching, I really do appreciate it, and if you have any more tips, then leave them in the comments. Thank you once again, and I'll see you again in the next video very soon.